Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number one, please, clerk board members, please. Dr. Guerrero.
John Smith, Board of Finance. Mike Franion, Board of Finance.
Jody Sills Gagnon, City Council.
Ron Burns, Board of Finance.
Anthony D'Amato, City Council.
Terry Chichalowski, Board of Finance.
Calvin Brown, City Council.
Cheryl Tebow, Board of Finance.
Dave Mills, City Council.
Dave Perleski, City Council.
Mary Fortier, City Council. Town Clerk Teresa Pell.
Assistant John Labella.
Mayor Kankakane. I'd like to point out that the two Daves are wearing matching ties tonight. Item number one.
They came together too.
Approve minutes.
Item number one.
Approval of minutes of the regular joint board meeting on December 8th, 2015.
Motion made, second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number two.
Consent calendar. 3 items. First is 2A, to make an additional appropriation of $102,378 in the Special Grants and Donations Fund for Code Enforcement funded by Code Enforcement Revenue. 2B is to make an additional appropriation of $6,863 within the Special Grants and Donations Fund for the 2015 Municipal Recycling Rewards Grant Program. And 2C is to make an additional appropriation of $1,794 within the Special Grants and Donations Fund for the library funded by donations.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number three.
To transfer $30,000 from the General Fund to operating transfers out special revenues.
Motion to move.
Second.
Motion made, second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number four.
To make an additional appropriation of $64,483 within the General Fund funded by trust revenue for the Parks Department.
Move it.
Second.
Motion made, second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number five.
To transfer $200,000 from the General Fund Contingency account to Demolition for the demolition and abatement work at 76th South Street.
Move approval. Second.
Motion made, second. Discussion.
I do have discussion on this item, Mayor. I'm just wondering, is this the building at the corner of Union and South that
Yes.
the city
Yes, it
owns?
is.
Okay, this had been on the real estate committee to possibly sell it. I just hadn't heard anything more about it.
The building official has deemed it unsafe to be torn down.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number six.
To make an additional appropriation of $75,000 within the Capital Non-Recurring Fund funded by Sidewalk Assessments.
Move it.
Second.
Motion made, second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number seven.
To make an additional appropriation of $75,000 within the LoCIP Fund funded by a transfer in from the Capital Non-Recurring Fund for the Sidewalk Replacement Program.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number eight.
To make an additional appropriation of $30,000 within the Special Grants and Donations Fund for the 894 Middle Street assessment.
Move it. Second.
Motion made, second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number nine.
To transfer $18,875 within the General Fund for BPSA salary upgrades.
Second.
Second.
Motion made, second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 10.
To transfer $109,428 from the General Fund Contingency account for an IRS payment.
Move it.
Second.
Made, second. Discussion. Yes, Ron.
Can you explain, as part of the detail in your package, this goes back to the problem we had in the fall that was surfaced. I thought in our package is $185,000. Can we get an update from the comptroller as to the payment and how that's working out? Glenn, the appropriation for $109,000, that is the amount that was originally due under the assessment that we got from the Treasury Department for the IRS.
Yes.
And there was $185,000 there. I was wondering if you can update us on how that's going. Why did you ask for $109,000?
It would be a better position for Robin. Has been in immediate contact, I believe, even today, as late as today.
So when the IRS agent came out in November, I believe, she had asked that we pay the $109,000. The civil penalty of $75,000 she felt would be waived, so she did not direct us to pay it at that time. Today, I notified Mayor Cockane. I did receive a call from the Taxpayers Advocacy. Just find my notes here, excuse me. A taxpayer advocacy group, and they're working with us now to try to get the refund from Social Security for the overpayment of about $82,000. So we paid that in the $109,000. We paid the $82,000, and now we're trying to get the money refunded back to us.
Yeah, I understand we're time barred from that. Is there an update?
That's what we're working on right now with the taxpayer advocacy group. They basically advocate on our behalf, so we're working with them to, I have to file a 941X, which will correct the information, and then that will force them to look at that and see if we can get a refund on that.
Force them?
Meaning it'll show all the data. We've paid our federal taxes up to date, and now it'll show there's an overpayment on the Social Security. So on the bottom of the return, it will show that we've overpaid, and all that will be signed off by the city, and then they will take it from there and try to get a refund issued.
Are they giving you any idea as to how they get around the time bar issue?
No time yet. I just heard from them today on that, and then they did seem optimistic that we would be able to get something back. They weren't sure if we'd get it all back or not, but they were hopeful. I feel like we're in good hands.
Would you be sure to come back next month and update us?
Sure.
Let me also add that Senator Murphy and Congressman Larson have been involved in this. I've met with both of them, and
you're going to meet with them next week.
I'm going to meet with them next week, and I'm going to meet with Senator Murphy at Blumenthal next week in Washington, and we're in the process of scheduling one with Larson as well.
I got to tell you, this is a big deal for me because it's clear the routines or whatever happened in your office. We missed it. It's a big number for the city. We don't get this much back, and there's no excuse in my view.
You've addressed that issue in your office, right?
Yes. Oh, yes, we have. We've put new practices in place, so this won't ever happen again.
Later on in the agenda, it's not an agenda item, it's a new business. I know I read the audit this weekend. Audit was great. It was very well done. New auditors, I got a lot of questions, so maybe we can approach that later.
I'm going to talk about it when I go back to the podium.
Then I'll defer.
Could I add that I believe during our next Board of Finance meeting, we will delve more into more detail. So please, I extend a welcome to you, any council, any members of the public, to come to that meeting, and things you didn't think of asking might come forward at that time as well. But to address what Robin said, the Board of Finance has also asked for extra steps and extra review to avoid items like this in the future.
I want to be clear because I may have misinterpreted what was said last month, but I was under the impression that the new auditor is going to make a report to this joint session, and then I thought I heard it was only going to go to finance, and I'd really like to have them come here.
Well, the appointing authority is the Board of Finance.
Well, they're here.
And yes, but it's the Board of Finance, not the joint board. I don't have any problem with that if she doesn't.
The council is invited to come to the Board of Finance.
Right.
Will we have an opportunity to talk or ask questions of the auditor?
It'll be up to the chair.
Mr. Chair.
What I would suggest, we can talk to them, but if you can't make that meeting, if you forward any questions we have, we'll get you answers to those, but we can ask them if they're available. Part of the thing is the joint board meeting is very brief. We expect to spend quite a bit of time talking and opening questions that would extend things. And we get a little anal in our questions, so just to put it mildly, because a lot of us just have...
I'm a rookie,
So hopefully you can join us, but we will ask them if they can make an appearance if you need further.
No, I think it's great. It's fun. I really would like the opportunity as a council member to ask questions during your time.
Oh, during our presentation, we will give you that opportunity.
Can't ask for anything else. Thank you.
Thank you.
One other thing I just wanted to add was the Taxpayers Advocacy Office that contacted me today was brought about by the mayor contacting Senator Murphy and Congressman Larson's office. So this group actually works for Congress, but it's by the IRS, so it is a very powerful group that is working with us now. So hopefully we'll get it resolved to our satisfaction.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you. Any other questions on item number 10? Motion to approve. Move it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 11.
to adopt the following resolutions and to waive the reading of the resolutions, but to incorporate the full text as part of the minutes. Radio Communications System Replacement Project, L&P Hubble Elementary School Roof Replacement, Repointing Project, Dennis Malone Aquatic Center HVAC Replacement Project, Downs Street Bridge Replacement Project Design Phase, and former Memorial Boulevard School Restoration Project.
For approval.
Second.
Motion made second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion passes. Item number 12.
Your Honor, can we get a roll call on this?
Oh, roll call, starting my far right.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion passes. Item number 12.
I didn't get an opportunity to give my report. Is it am I at
You're up now.
That's
Oh,
here,
okay.
12.
I came up a little prematurely then. Most of my thunder was stolen with regards to the questions on the audit, but our office did prepare the audit, and we're using the Bristol, new Bristol All Heart logo. I think it looks kind of nice, actually. And we've copied the same format with the budget document, which are online, so that'll be helpful to residents that want to see it and officials that want to see it. So yes, the audit was complete. It was our first year. It was a learning process for both sides. It took a little bit extra on effort on, I should say, a lot of extra effort on both sides. And we have not received as of yet the management letter that is addressed to the Board of Finance. When that happens, there's going to be a conversation with me prior to that to talk over some of the issues from both sides. And that management letter will be issued, will be addressed to the chair of the Board of Finance. There was a surplus this year, and continuing in our ongoing surpluses that we've had, roughly $790,000, but that was once again a managed surplus. The actual surplus was probably a couple $1 million, but we put money, as you saw in your agendas, into the sinking funds and the capital projects to pay cash next year rather than hit the mill rate. So that's been a standard practice of ours, and it's worked to our benefit. One of the other things that has come in is the actuarial valuations that we receive annually, and in continuing past practice, police and fire are very well overfunded. However, the city has declined in part because of the bad fiscal calendar year we had in the marketplace. We were 117% overfunded. We dropped to 113% overfunded, and that's, in my opinion, a little bit mildly to dangerously low. I mean, it can only take 3 years and we would be under 100%. So I'm going to recommend to the Board of Finance the amount that they've requested to the annual contribution is $159,000. That's split among the General Fund and several other funds. So the whole $159,000 does not hit the General Fund. There's the sewer operating funds and other funds. However, on the Board of Education side, it's a large number. We've kind of forgiven them the last couple of years. I don't think we're in a position to do that a third year. The number is approaching 600,000. I believe it's 600,000.
Yeah, I actually have it here, 597.
Okay, 597 is their required contribution. In part is because they have hired new people. Because I asked the actuaries, and they said that's the majority of it. When you hire somebody new and they're in the beginning of their career, the cost, the actual determinations are much higher. So we've got to, I've sent this information to the Board of Ed, Gary Franzi, told him to include it in his budget, and then you can have a discussion on that when they make their presentation. But we can't no longer, just put zeros in. It's not the right thing to do at this time. And we already covered the last item. We talked about the 26th. The auditors will be in. If you have questions, it'd be helpful, Dave, and anyone else, if you can give me the questions in advance so they can come prepared. Because otherwise, then you usually get a lot of, well, I'll get back to you. I don't think you want that.
Through the chair, what's the meeting?
26th.
6:30.
Last Tuesday of the month. So they'll be here. They'll be prepared. If you can give the questions in advance, that'll be very helpful.
Through the chair. Yeah, Glenn, why wasn't the management letter prepared? Was it just that timing?
Yes, it was time. We weren't too pleased with the timing of receiving this report. I mean, we usually get it in a couple of days. The report has to be filed to the Office of Policy and Management by the close of the day on 12/31, which is New Year's Eve. And, most offices are closing early, but I know the governor in this particular looked like they kept the offices open until the right time. Nevertheless, we didn't receive this document until shortly after noon, and our offices closed at 12:15. We had to obviously put together the check and copies to the GFOA for the award that goes along with this. It was a little bit of last second. So I'm going to have a conversation with them, and I'm sure they have some issues with us. They want some information. We weren't used to the format that they wanted it. For 20 years we did it in the older format for the prior auditors. They're a little bit different, but that's okay. We both learned, and I think we'll go forward. But I haven't had any indication of anything that's going to be in the management letter. So once I do and have a conversation with them, then I'll forward it to the chair of the Board of Finance, and she can direct me how she wants it distributed.
Glenn, I would like to be in your call or your meeting when you meet with them if I could.
Yeah, we'll put you in conference.
Anything else? Thank you, Glenn.
You're welcome.
Any other business?
I do have one item through the chair. I know that coming up, and I haven't seen a schedule yet, but coming up we'll be having workshops as we get ready for the budget season. There are obviously Board of Finance workshops. I've tried to attend those in the past, and the various department heads bring forth their budget and explain and answer questions as the Finance Board prepares to develop the budget for the coming year. I wanted to specifically ask if we could have a workshop dedicated to healthcare. Most people know that I feel this is a very important issue. It's probably over 10% of our budget. I don't have numbers in front of me, but it's a significant number, and I wanted to be able to ask questions about how the insurance numbers are created and who creates them, and how they've changed over time. And I just wanted to have that opportunity and have the opportunity for any members of the public that wanted to ask questions as well. So I just was wondering if we might be able to schedule in such a way that there'd be, shall we say, extra time for specifically questions on healthcare.
The Board of Finance has a subcommittee the insurance subcommittee, and a lot of the discussion occurs at that point and then is brought to the workshop. Those meetings can be attended by you.
I think they're generally like at 10 in the morning though, and I was just looking for an opportunity for members of the public too to ask questions, and so I was just...
The other thing is this is a negotiated item through union contracts, which we've talked about every contract, and we're working through now with two of our contracts. That one is negotiated and one is pending.
Well, I wasn't talking about like what share employees pay. I'm really talking about how much the city pays.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a issue for the Board of Finance. I think where you need to go is to the insurance subcommittee, to that group, and perhaps you could take a couple hours off from work and go talk in that group.
However, you know, what they do discuss and what they present is brought to one of our workshops. That workshop can go, it'll be an item that is thoroughly discussed at that time, and we will let you know which night that will be, because we tend to follow pretty much the same kind of order that we have in the past.
Right.
We have not worked out the schedule yet with the Controller's Office, which we'll be doing in the next couple weeks. But we will definitely let you know, and you have the opportunity to come. And if you have some questions, just as we allowed anybody who has questions regarding the audit, we will give you time to ask those at that point. It can be, do we need to go into an extra workshop just for this item? At this point, probably not, but there's the opportunity to schedule more workshops as necessary should we need to. So we can keep that flexibility should there be the need for more discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other business?
I have a question. Who's on the insurance subcommittee?
John, who's on your committee? You're the chair, right, of that committee, if I recall.
Mike, Jake are the committee members. Glenn, Robin, and Diane Ferguson also attend this.
And the Board of Ed.
And Gary Franzi and Sam Galloway.
And do you, off the top of your head, know the next meeting date and time?
No, because we call them as needed. We just had a meeting a week and a half ago where we discussed some employee benefit package, but a lot of the meetings are also discussing liability insurance, driver education for our municipal employees, et cetera. So it's not just the benefit structure. We'll call a meeting probably early February.
And they're properly noticed through the town clerk's office, so...
They're all posted. We have to have a meeting fairly soon because we need to establish a budget number for next year. So and that comes out of a discussion at that committee meeting.
Very good. Any other questions? Well, this is your meeting, I'm sorry.
We meet at 9:15 in the morning, actually.
Thank you, John.
Any other questions? Hearing none, a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Council meeting will start at 7:10.